My name is Dixie Harris. I've been coming to Adamsville Road Church of God for 4 years now. And I love this church. I love the people in the church. I am very, very comfortable here. But I want to give you my testimonial. When I was 4 years old, my real father left my brother and I for the babysitter, which I didn't know at the time. So when I was 8 years old, my mother met my stepfather. My brother and I were 8 and 9 when he adopted us. And he was a very strict, unloving, hugging person. When I turned 18, I met this man. He was 5 years older than I was, and I begged him to marry me because I wanted to get away from home. So we got married, and then 2 years later we had our first child, and then 2 years later we had our second child. We were married 8 years, but I was a very jealous person. I didn't want him to leave me like my father left me. But it caused him to have an affair, and then he had an affair, and I said, well, then I can have one too. We went to counseling, and it didn't work, so we were divorced. And in the meantime, I met this older man. He was 46 and I was 26. And he said, if you leave your husband, then we'll get married. So we got married. It was 3 months, and I asked him for a divorce because I didn't feel he was being a husband to me, and he wanted me to give my children up, and I said, no, I will not give my children up. My father left me, and I'm not doing that to my children. So after 3 months, I divorced my second husband. And after we got divorced, I went to work, and I met my third husband there, and he was on work release. And I married him, and he became abusive, so I divorced him, and I married my fourth husband. And we were only married a year because he wanted me to give my children up. But in the meantime, I've always taken my children to church. I taught Sunday school, I taught Bible school, I was in the church choir. So, and when I was growing up, my parents did not go to church with us, my stepfather and my mother, but our grandparents took us. And then I waited 12 years from my fourth husband, and I married my son's best friend's father, and that was 20 years ago. But I've been divorced 18 years from him now. But even in the 20 years, my son has not treated me like a mother. He was very upset that I married his best friend's father. And now it's been 3 years that we haven't spoken to each other, or I have not seen my grandchildren. And a year ago, I was baptized in Weise's swimming pool when we had our baptism. And that's when I gave it all to God, because I said, I can't handle it anymore. I need you. I wouldn't listen to him in the past, and I knew he was wanting me to give up what I did not want to give up. I was searching for a man to love me. I wanted to be loved by a man. But now, since I've been baptized, I've given myself to him. He's my father, he's my husband, he's my brother, and he's my best friend. And the peace that I have within me since I have come to Adamsville Road, the Bible studies I go to, the small groups I go to, just being here at church gives me the peace that I've never had in all my life. And I have a feeling I can't explain to anyone how it feels to know that Jesus loves me.